Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 263 edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, the market, at the global scene has remained flattish. Let me use that language, and also come back looking at the local market. The same thing we're seeing also the market here. It's not in green, it's not in red, just also flattish. Market is about 0.04 here down and at NGS. But if you look at the global market and which we continue to share in this class, that you must understand the trend in the market and also those factors behind the up and down movement of the market, because there are factors responsible for market to look up or down. And if you understand what these factors are and also factor it in into your decision, which your chart will tell you when you are seeing a kind of sentiment or movement or kind of a psychology reflecting on the pattern that the market is going, and that give you an insight to what to do at the right time. As to speak now, the global market is mixed and flat, as I've said earlier. If you look at let me start from the US market. Yesterday, all eyes were on US consumer price index for the month of April, and it came better than expected. Why I say better than expected? The kind of expectation was to see the figure around 5%, but you can see that the inflation data also slide down to 4.9, better than expected. I mean that means inflation in that environment is cooling. That means cost of goods and services also slowing down in that domain. And why is it so that what happened in US has the way of influencing everything, because that is the major dollar, the major currency used in transaction. That means as inflation continues to go up and the Fed continue to hike rate, cost of borrowing or cost of fund there will also be high. That will also affect even payments for other. So that's why you see when there's high cost of fund and rate hike, it's going to affect many countries also to service their borrowing, even from US and all those stuff. Even also, even with the same US also paying their interest, or just as here in Nigeria, when interest rate is high, it affects both the government and also the private sector. For that, this kind of slowdown that we saw yesterday in a Fed, in a US inflation data is a kind of a confirmation that, or a signal that yes, Fed might likely go into what normalization that will lead to what to interest cut. And can see if we can start seeing interest cut right away after like more than 1 year rate hike, that will bring a relief to what to the global economy. But because of what is happening also in the area of the political tension and the conflict, in Russia and Ukraine, that has not helped matter. But the good thing is that yesterday also saw that the Green Deal had been extended for another 2 months. That means okay, goods can still be living in the Black Sea. That tells you that yes, there is a no hope that if no more effort is put in place, kind of ceasefire, kind of negotiation discussion will start coming up so that this war will put an end. If the war powers will stop reflecting their power to show how strong they are with their ammunition, and those that are in war trying to for me, I believe that if the right step is taken globally, and why is it very important that the oil price also will continue to look down before we say yes, we are seeing a good sign. Because if even after seeing that the inflation data is looking down, if oil price rebound again to cross around $100 again per barrel, that will be another cost of push, that also affect inflation and cost of green activities, which also is very, very important that we note. But the good thing that we saw that oil price, as we speak now, has edged up a little as a result of what the increase in US demand to what to lock their, or to kind of take their inventory that I told you even when it was going up within the period. But now you can see the part of inventory they are taking now, or kind of buying to their inventory. These are also what they put in the price, and also seeing a kind of a slowdown in US their inflation. That also has supported the kind of little rebound we have seen in oil price, which is also good for me. But the major thing that as to speak now, investors are shifting their eye away from what from the data that which has given them a clue where they are going. Because I told you that the major three factors that is befalling or kind of make or mark US economy is one is the shaking banking system, which result that came from the big banks have confirmed yes, there are still relative stability there, apart from the regional banks that are having issue, and also the interest, the inflation that is also plaguing the economy and also the debt ceiling that even this morning also you can see that the secretary to treasury also said that yes, unthinkable can happen if the Congress or faith or the National Assembly faith to take decision. And I believe that also the president is just looking to see what the Congress will do as regard that. These are the things. But now, if inflation is coming down, it's a relief forward for Americans, and at the same time the world, because of what that also gradually lead to what rate cut. If rate cut, I see many companies that are many economies or many countries that have debt in dollars, international currency. Also, it will be a relief for them on servicing their debt. These are the good thing of the board. As we speak now, as I've seen toward the purchase, the producers price index, and also today being Bank of England policy meeting, all eyes on that that meeting. Before now, we have seen that they're proposing about 50 basis points to increase their their rate. But as we speak now, we are seeing that it's also they are bringing down to around 25 basis points. Will that also signal that at the end of after this hike we are seeing we expect to see here today from their meeting, is there the end? No, because also we are seeing that in England a lot of measures have been taken to make sure that the economy rebound. You can see how they are pushing to make sure that the transportation system in that domain works, because we know that anywhere in the world, transportation is one of the big aspects of the economy that we use to oil the whole system. If they are looking that way, and also you can see that they make sure that to make sure they provide for money for some people that they know that they are vulnerable in that environment. You can see these are things they picture that they want to manage and bring England economy back again to track, which is also very, very good. But on this interest rate that we expect to see today, the outcome of the meeting, that also will shape where would that country be going. But don't forget that in the before now I've seen three major countries in the West that are also increased. If England did that increase their own today, that would be Nigeria today. There is four of them. I believe that this will be like the last one we're seeing across them, because we're seeing consistent decline in inflation cooling down gradually, and I believe that with the extension of this green deal again, and oil price continue to straight below the $80, even go below 470, that will be a plus for them and for the certain parts of the world, and that also start looking the world for cutting interest rate to kind of reduce the economy, and start seeing improve activities again. This is a good news for the market, but outcome of the Bank of England policy meeting also have a way of influencing market. But as we speak, I told you that in US we saw a mixed market. That Dow is slightly in red, while S&P and Nasdaq are in green. The same trend we are seeing in Europe market. That we are seeing that yes, despite that the England is also in that zone. In that zone, we are seeing that market also waiting for another trigger, to see where they will go from there, because the outcome of the meeting today will have a lot to do with where that zone also will go. Don't forget that we saw that the EU, which the European Central Bank, adjusted rate, and also we expect that what we saw in US inflation as they were also going to influence activities in that domain. That means all eyes on what the production price index, which also will come with the outcome of Bank of England meeting. But I believe that Bank of England, with the expectation of 5% increase in their, so that will be around 4.5, which is also, I believe, also is a big high but manageable. I believe that also kind of trigger respond, and once there's a kind of a clear direction that these certain banks start going down or start cutting rates, that will also be a boost forward for the global economy. They're saying in Asia also a mixed trend also in Asia market, and when oil price is going down, going up, you see that those markets respond faster. When it's going up, they also respond faster. That means now that we're seeing kind of a little rebound or itching up again, we're seeing it all reflecting on the price. But I'll tell you that the flattish nature of data emerging from China economy is not so happy matter, despite lifting the COVID-19 restriction. We believe that once we start seeing a clear and improved data or economic indicators showing a strong recovery, that will also support the global economy. Knowing that China is the second largest economy, inactivities are in there as the war for influencing the war. But the global economy, for me, there is no. Why Africa? I've said earlier, Africa is mixed, and NGS, as we speak now, is still in green or a flattish nature or position of around 0.04 in terms of the Ocean Index. But we'll get to know detail once we go into that that market to see what the market is doing live. But before we go to the live market to see, want to quickly look at the earnings that were released to the market this morning. We saw Airtel Africa releasing an audited account for the period ended 2023 March 31st. For me, it's a mixed number, but also it's good that companies keep to what keep to their releasing period, or when you give no a date, also you keep to it. Don't forget that in the month of April, they came to announce that yes, on or before 11th of May, the result to hit the market, and that means they opting for what for not releasing unaudited account to come with it. Just like MTN also did before the end of end of January. You can see that this corporate telecom company, in terms of their corporate governance, I can see they are setting place for every other one to emulate, so that you know that when you release result on time, investors in the market players can use to plan exactly, and also when you say result is coming, they can plan in that regard, and that will help you for them to manage their stock or their investment decision. It's good that they keep to what they have forecasted or the timeline they gave, which for me is a good one. I believe that most company in the exchange also go in that direction and emulate. But now that we're seeing they have opportunity, you have no choice to make. Either you release the result within the 60 days or you release unaudited, you wait for also the same 90 days window to release your result. For me, it's a good one. And this is the first March account that is audited. We have seen unaudited from different companies in that March year account. Yes, they are few in the market, but I tell you, the all of comply releasing their what unaudited account for the period that ended the month of April, after March being their end of year. We're looking at between now and end of June, we're going to see their audited account with what with a financial with a dividend reward, or come with a corporate action, you want to call it. But if you look at the figure that were released to the market today, but as to speak, let me just repeat that you can see that activities in Zenith Bank are seeing insider dealing or update we are getting from the market. And you can see that in the last 4 trading days of this week, we're seeing improved activities in the banking sector. Even when stock like LPN holding have not really results, but we see activities even when the results have been delayed. Say that there's something going for the banking sector. It does mean that institutional investors are taking advantage of these prices we are seeing in this banking sector, and also they expected trend in terms of their earnings that will support their number at the end of the year or payout, after most of them were able to manage the Ghana debt crisis for the 2022 financial year, and they are opening their new year financial year on a good note. I think that is why we are seeing such attention and volume and cross deal in other the sectors. For banking, there's something going for them. Back to the earnings that was to go. Stay for Africa, Airtel Africa, knowing that this company is listed in more than 2 exchange, Nigeria and London, another one, and also operating in more than 12 to 13 countries, which is good for them. And that is why the numbers we're going to read now is in dollar. But let's go ahead and look at the Investdata and see how the price is selling, and does it make sense? Is it for you to put this stock for your defensive stock, or I want to see a bam if the new government come on board, or is it because we're waiting to see where the dollar is going, what is happening at the price is not going up? But also look at, is it on the strength of these earnings that the price is not going up? These are the things we want to look at this hour, and also see what their chart is going to tell us. If you look at the financial year ended March 31st, 2023, the company revenue moved from 4.71 billion dollar to 5.26 billion dollar. That is about 12% up in the green. But if you look at, I said that is a mixed number. If you look at the profit after tax for this period, from a revenue of 5.26 billion dollar to 750 million dollar, I can see that there is look at what they are retaining as, and can see how costs have taken much of this from 5.2 billion dollar. While your profit after tax, after expense and all, we're having a 750 million, sorry, 750 million dollar on as a PAT, against 755 million dollar in 2022, and that represents 1% in a decline in the southward movement. That means there's a kind of a flat result. I said this result is made. But if you go further to see what is this 750 million translated in terms of earning per share, that will give you 18 cents against 17 cents in 2022, and that also will lead us to having the profit margin of yes, look at the profit margin. I'll tell you, no, is within the standard internationally, because any company that you see that their profit margin is above 10%, tells that yes, there is no, is good. That means in every of the every of $1, $1, of their revenue, about 10 cents is also retained as what, as profit. Here we can see that the profit margin declined from 16.14% in 2022 to 14.25% in 2023, ended March 31st. Still above them, but still a decline. You can see that cost has increased, associated with, and that's why, despite the top, or growth in the top line, you can see that the bottom line was flat, and that's what reflected on the what, on their profit margin. And also, if you look at the company, operating cash flow, I don't look at result. Yes, I tell you that company balance sheet might look robust, and the profit after tax looking good. You need to go and see what is the cash flow of this company saying. Is it well available, or is it pointing to supporting the stability of that earnings we are seeing? Because if it's not, you need to also think twice. If you see the search in 2 or 3 locations of a company, it points to something is happening somewhere. But if you look at the operating cash flow for Airtel for this 12 months, you can see that there's a little or a marginal improvement to 2.21 billion from 2.01 billion in 2022. For me, it's a good one. And at the end of the day, the final dividend that the Airtel declared for its shareholder is 3.27 cents. Bring a total. I know that these are the final dividend they paid interim before now, and that will now bring a total dividend of 5.45 cents for the current for the year ended 2023 March 31st. Yes, they're already on a new financial year that this is the month of May. Like 2 months in the new financial year 2024. But I believe that this number is missed, and on the strength of this number, I don't see the price going much up. But we believe that market will also decide any information can come in addition to this number, and you see a big turnaround. For this number, for me, you can look at what 30 cent, 3.27 cent, to your 1 naira to 1,250 or 58 naira per share. What it will, it will come for investors also to look at. And that's why I said most of this high cap stock is for defensive, but why the blue chips and the growing stock, most of them give a better dividend. You can see some stocks, some growing companies still paying good dividend even when they are growing, while some blue chips companies are stable, and also their dividend payout is also extra. For those that are looking for dividend income, there are categories of stock to look at, and which most times if you go to the buy and sell signal, if you log in, you can see stock for different purposes, for dividend, for capital appreciation, low price, for all those ones, for stability. Those that are rebound, you can see them there when you log in. You have them about almost 6 different categories for different purposes, and to guide you. That's why those in the premium class have access to that. If you are not there, I will encourage you to do that. By next week, not this Saturday, we're also having a guest speaker that will be on that on that platform also, to give us an insight what you can use also to protect your capital or your fund when there's uncertainty in the market. We believe that this government is going to give a play market, and where we are going, going to give us a direction, because being exposed to the the change that the position for the market is positive and spread the world. In case you want to balance your portfolio, there are some stocks and some instruments you need to make what full balance portfolio, so that no matter what happens in any season, you are balanced, because your portfolio is kind of fortified in good stocks. And these are the things we'll be discussing, not this Saturday, the upper Saturday, with the guest speaker, so that also if you are not there, you can take advantage of this also information to put you on, so that you'll be part of that class for that day. Yes, finally go to the live market to see what is happening, because it's very, very important to see what is happening in this market. After we have talked about what is happening, but look at what is happening in the market. I told you that the market is flat. As we speak now, the market is going to go up. Market is doing 52,220.59. The market is slightly in green, 11.53 basic point, representing about 0.02%. Can see it's going to go up and down. But the good news is that the market will remain positive. We're having 14 gainers against what? Against 10 losers as we speak. That tells you that the market is still positive. like what else today, that's why market pullback yesterday as a result of what high cap stocks, experiencing the kind of sell off in the life of Boa Cement that put the market down. Yesterday we saw a very strong market, positive market growth of 33, against 20 loser. Today we're seeing almost 14 gainers at this hour against 10 loser. Market is still slightly in green, which is a good news for the market. We quickly look at the top gainers and the top losers now. We go to the start from the other side, the decliner side or the loser side. If you look at the chart, I see that Royal Exchange is also leading at this hour about 3 point something percent. I see that those stocks that are losing are not up to 5%. But that is that market says that what they are looking at says that the momentum in the market is still very, very strong. We're also seeing Access Corp doing around 10.30 after touching 10.50 yesterday. It's down by around 2.8%. You can see the life of Wapik Insurance, which is the coordination insurance now, also in that table, and also Champion Brewing, and finally Jahiz Bank. And I would say for these are stock profit taking, these are stocks that have rallied recently. But if you look at the other side, the flip side, the advanced table, I see that Adova has maintained an uptrend on the last 2 to 3 days, and I see that this hour is trading around the 24 naira, 10% flat in the green, gaining about 2 naira 20 kobo, which is huge for a stock like this that is having an issue with buying out minority at the price they declare they tend to fall. The some shareholders are dragging feet and taking them to go, but the price has start looking up all this while. Don't know what is driving it. Is it that because of are they demanding to get 65 naira? They bought from the major shareholders $2. Is it what the minority shareholders are saying? I don't know why the price is going up. Nothing, the earnings is not too fantastic for you to see is the numbers, but I believe that there's something pushing the store, which your chart will guide you. That's why I say don't be greedy. As you look at your chart, that's what you're doing. You need to quickly jump out of that position. Yes, we're also in the life of Transcorp, also on that table, they're almost 9% up, trading around that 2 naira 25 kobo. I'm seeing now with 256. Then also we're seeing the life of MTN, Coco, ABC Transport around the 40 kobo. This is good. It's not that declared just 1 kobo, but market is responding to that dividend of 1 kobo. You can see this like a new high in recent time for ABC Transport in terms of price movement, 40 kobo. Then followed by GSK, Britain's this Glasgow Britain company, normally as big as GSK as to speak. Then finally, we look at the what in terms of volume. This volume is very key, and that is why you look at what is happening in Access Bank. You tell that something is happening as to speak now. Despite the stock was marked down yesterday, you can see that the still position taken as to speak now. The stock is now almost a 96 million share traded so far, followed by UBA. UBA has gone up at around almost no 8 naira 40 kobo, but has been down now to around 8 naira 15 kobo, trading about 97. Okay, Access Bank is 99 million. Why we're seeing UBA now at 97 million share traded so far. Royal Exchange we're seeing 9.2 million share traded so far. Fidelity around 5 naira 82 kobo, 7.7 million share traded, and Zenith Bank trading at 24.50 was also around 7.4 million share traded. These are the market position. Now, yes, quickly we'll go to the chart to see what is happening because of our time. We want to look at the chart. I know I tell you that anytime you come to the chart, you need to look at where is the chart going. It's very, very important. You must review the chart, the chart or the price action you want to look at to guide you to know exactly where it's going. If the markets are trending, is it on the uptrend or the downtrend? You can see that market is making higher high, even when you saw a pullback yesterday as a result of a sell-off in a Dangote in a Boa Cement and some profit taking in stock like Stanbic BTC and also markdown of assets yesterday. For this morning, market is flattish. I can say it here. You can also call it on the candlestick. Say that market is still having a positive momentum. But we need to call our indicators as usual to give us a clear direction where this market is going and the strength behind it. We want to see for ourselves what is the strength saying, and I need to call some indicators that we want to know what is the strength of the market now, and that's why it's very important that I teach you how to get those indicators and want to discuss them in this class that you get better understanding the indicator I want to use the our ADS is very important, because I saw something yesterday night that I'm going through the market, which I want to explain to you and also to guide you also at the same time if you are taking your decision. As we speak, with the pullback, as I said, the market is still trading above the T line now, or flat on it. They tested that T line, that was where they didn't break down, but now we're seeing a kind of a slight gain here. But the good thing is that if you look at your money flow this morning is looking up to read around the 80.9. Yesterday was at around 76, 78, but that is a fund is to enter the market as we speak on a daily chart, which is good. But what I want us to look at is the this what I call the money flow index is looking good. But if you look at the ADS, no, look at one thing I want you to understand. If you look at this point here, at this point that the market rebounded, you saw that the ADS also was up, coming up to break out this red line. I told you, whenever you see that the blue one is on top, the market is bullish. Whenever you see the red one up, which is the red line, tell that what the momentum in the market is also weak. The blue line tell that there's strength in the market, and that's why we're seeing the uptrend. And then I see that the index action was above the T line all this while. But at this point that market level that you saw what happened, the red came up. You can see it here all this while that market next action is below the T line. But when market rebound here and started going up towards the end of April, you saw there's a movement also that was started coming up at the market. And when the market was still across the T line, you can see that the blue one almost come to cross the red one here. And it was yesterday that the market pulled back. Up my eyes was even before the market started yesterday that it's almost crossing. Once it crossed, said that a new momentum has entered the market. For almost the time to cross yesterday, you saw that the pullback, saw the selling position, saw the almost yesterday we saw just 27% buy position and 73% sell, 77%, 78, sorry, percent sell for the market to close about 0.75% down. And that changed the face here. You can see, but still we are seeing that money flow is looking up. I said that the possibility that this blue one was also turned again after looking up is high. But the good thing that here that the ADS that shows the strength behind the trend is still strong because it's reading a word 24 and that is above 20. Anytime you see ADS above 20, say that there is strength in that momentum. But when you see reading about 30, 50, say that there is strong momentum. That's why as a trader or investor, you need to look at all these indicators to help you to know where the momentum is going, where you are seeing the market swinging to. Is very important that you know how to use all these indicator. And this for what a day chart. Let's quickly look at what is the hourly chart saying. On the hourly chart, you can see that on the hourly chart, the market is still slightly below the T line, and money flow has started coming up. But after pulling back, yesterday you can see it here, but this morning, because of despite that it's still below the T line, we're already seeing a 400, and that also I've seen that change the movement of the bull line again here, trying to start looking up. For me, it's not a bad one, and it's a good sign of where the market will. Finally, look at the 15 minutes for the index and see where it's going forward. And yes, on the 15-minute chart, we can see that it's flat now on the T line, which is a good sign. Money flow after pulling down yesterday. You can see it here. It was down yesterday. You can see what is happening. The last trading sessions in the market open, which is a good one. Money flow is looking up. That's why it's below towards the T line on 15 minutes moving on the 15 minutes time frame. There's want to look at those stocks that are looking up. The life of Adova, how far will it go from here? What is happening in Transcorp? Let's see time parameters to look at this hour. Let's see what we can achieve with it. Adova, let's look at what is the trend behind Adova. Adova on 15 minutes chart, you can see that it's sitting above the T line, and you can see that the blue one is above, as I told you. Our money flow is also around around 54, which is probably good on a 15-minute chart. I want to come back to 1 hour chart to see what 1 hour is saying about this stock. You can see that money flow is above 80, which is good. And you can see that ADS is trading almost about 56. It tells that fund is entering the stock. I can see when it crosses this line, even when it's coming up and down, they tell that momentum is still in the stock. Even when it comes as low as below um, 20, 20 point money flow, but still come. I can see here all this while, but now I can see that the degree is becoming the momentum of the stock. But looking at the candlestick formation here, the sign of weakness. I can see it here for you to know that you need to also watch this stock very carefully. Profit taking might be underway. You can see I'm going to see this kind of sign, this kind of trend after I move off for like straight 3 to 4 days. We are seeing this kind of movement. That's also be very careful, and profit taking activities can be in at any given time. And this 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart are telling us, sign that there's always the last few minutes, hours they have been sell position, people are taking profit already in it. That has shown sign already. If you look at the other indicators down, for me it's not a bad one. Yeah, but if you are this stock, you enter around 17, 18 on even at 20 naira, this 124 is good for you to take profit. Don't fall in love with stock market. Look at transport. Transcorp, when people are calling me that you said the reversal is underway, I say no, I just told you it's underway. I can't tell you that is the time, but I think it's underway, and also how it turned around that same day in the market open, and before market open around 8 travels are telling you that possibility of turnaround, and you should enter for medium and long term. That stock is taking momentum. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that money flow is entering stock Transcorp seriously. You can see after pulling back sell off here, this is a 1 hour chart. You can see, now you can see phone again. It has come back after it has come down. Went to sell it off. You can see what I told you. When the momentum was weak, it was coming down, but now you can see that it has crossed up again. Let's look at the 1 hour chart, day chart. Sorry, look at the day chart. You can see on the day chart again. We are still seeing bullish engulfing as yesterday. That is good for the stock, and you can see that it has reversed up again on what on your momentum indicator ADS. For me, a good one. After trying to cross the point down and confirm this pullback was in here, after breaking down the T line, but it got to a point here, then make a U-turn, and money flow is also reading around above 50 to read around 80 at this point. For me, it's also a good news for transport. We're seeing some momentum transport. That's why you can see that the buy side of sentiment is strong compared to the sell side of transport. On this note, I will say thank you for your time. We'll round up tomorrow for the week. I look forward to see you at the afternoon class on Saturday. We'll be looking at more of what is we expect to see in the coming administration, what we expect to look at, and how we should prepare our portfolio, and we should also lay our we should pitch our tent for expectation of what another rally in the market, and as well as also looking at what would the CBN monetary policy be doing on the 22, 23rd of May, seeing that want to see the outcome of a trend from UK Bank of England today, and that would be clear direction where CBN also will be looking at. Like I told you every time that CBN has the control of stabilizing price, and you can't do them by managing inflation, managing interest rate and exchange rate are together. You have to give two. You have to leave one for the other two to check, and that's why we believe that CBN should know that the interest rate they've hiked all this while to check inflation have not done anything significant. That means they need to change strategy if you really want to fight inflation. For the statement that you continue to hike rate as far as inflation look up, that's why also all eyes on what on April consumer price index for Nigeria to know where we are. After seeing that in the month of March, we saw the inflation hitting 22.04. We were expecting to slow down or to continue that northward movement. The data we're expecting will give us an insight. I'll say bye and see you tomorrow, hopefully by God grace. Enjoy the rest of your trading day.